Some Kanye West chat. What's as they say Americans? Hey man, what's like going on with like Kanye? You can pronounce it Ye or Yay.
Yay.
I think we should
he's
call him
not he prefers. He legally is called.
No, but I thought like I saw it as YE, right? So to me that if he wants it to be Yay, then I think everyone should just call him Ye.
Ye old bastard.
Ye old.
Ye oldie Kanye.
Ye oldie Kanye. Ye. I like. I'm Kanye. Ye.
Yep. The main thing seems to be with this whole thing is sympathizing with Hitler, saying Hitler was a great guy. He seems to overlook the very small and simple fact that he is a black man, and Hitler would have hated him as well. That's the one thing.
Hey, yo, Adolf, let's hang out. Oh, no, I am Adolf Hitler. I don't want to hang out with you, Kanye West. You are not my kind of person.
I also was surprised because like I didn't knew anything about Kanye West, and then I read like about him. And I figured out that like he's anti-Semitic, and that was like, what? Like I did not get it. If he is for this person, but if this person ever like gets to power or anything, then Kanye West will be out.
I don't really get what his end game is. I mean, there's a cheap way to like start to get favor with people, a bit like an extreme version of Donald Trump, with the saying stupid controversial things, but the idea that Hitler's cool has never worked ever in the history of and never will, because it's obvious.
That's the problem though with that. There is the others that you mentioned, Trump and people like that. They do have an end game. It's very, very clever, meticulously planned PR. The same with like Musk and all that. Kanye, that's not a planned PR stunt. It's just literally the guy's crazy, and unfortunately, he gets a lot of attention.
It's just bizarre, isn't it? It's calling people out for saying controlled by Jewish people, and then White Lives Matter.
I like the thing that he says, like, oh, it's a big like Jewish cabal that is running everything and holding us all down so we can't make it to the top. It's like, you're not really the one to be talking, dude. You're like
who is at top.
You're like exactly. It's like, oh, the poor guy who's worth billions and billions of dollars, who actually came from nothing and made it to the top. It's literally the worst example for it being run by some sort of government agency.
It's just bizarre. And also like, today to improve the Yay brand, I'm going to post a picture of the Star of David with a swastika. That's what he did, I believe, right?
Saw that.
The fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's fucked. But surely someone near him must be saying, yay, ye, control yourself. So he's surrounded by white skinheads or something like that.
Like proper white supremacist at this point.
Because he was hanging around with black Nazis, that would be weird.
Well, I mean,
him and his black Nazi pals.
Supremacist, and
that's bizarre, right?
What's the woman called? There's that American politician who basically is like a black skinhead. It's not Condoleezza Rice, but he's like his reasoning is like sort of Christianity,
Nazi friend. Christianity. What's Is he gone? Is he a newborn Christian?
No, he's always been a Christian. So he's like he's a proper evangelical Christian, and evangelical Christians in America believe that if he's not. He's like, I don't know, some racist version of it. Usually American Christians are actually like very supportive of the Jewish population because they think if they put all the Jews back into Israel, then Jesus is going to come back.
Yeah.
Which is also his reasoning for why he wanted to wear the White Lives Matter shirt was really funny. He said, if a white man can wear a Black Lives Matter shirt, then a black man can wear a White Lives Matter shirt. I'm like, that's not the reason people don't want you to do it.
But I'm just looking up here, like, is Kanye West thing, and for some reason, when the actual article in German is a lot sinister. Skandalinterview von Kanye West. Ich mag Hitler. Ich liebe die Nazis. It sounds a lot worse, doesn't it, in German? Naughty Kanye.
I actually heard that he did say in some interviews that he likes Hitler, like, right before the break. So it's, like, not that dramatic. It actually happened. I just like that he actually, like, said that I like Hitler in one, like, podcast or something, like, right before the break.
Yeah. Why would anyone do that? But, yeah, I don't know why anyone would say that.
He said that on Alex Jones.
He's that other fucking tool, isn't he?
That was the moment where I thought, like, is he maybe a genius? Because he was the only person I've ever seen sit next to Alex Jones, and like Alex Jones was speechless.
Yeah.
And Kanye was just like, he pulled out a net and he was like, he was trying to like, it was like a joke on the Israeli President Netanyahu, and he pulled out a net and he was doing like a voice for it, and it was so unhinged. And I'm like, maybe he's a genius. Maybe this is genius.
Like trying to destroy the ultra right from within. Yeah, because that Alex Jones guy was like trying to be really apologetic, wasn't he, or something like that? Like,
he's like, oh, you like the uniforms as a designer, you like that, maybe say that. And he's like, no, that Hitler guy, he had some ideas. And then it got really weird because like Alex Jones hates George Soros. That's that he's Jewish. He hates that guy.
A currency,
and then Kanye was like, I mean, if he converted to Christianity, that'd be cool. And like, because Alex Jones can like sort of accuses George Soros of like trading Jews to the Nazis during World War II, which is like a right-wing lie. And it's so funny because like Kanye is like, oh, well, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe if that guy becomes a Christian.
Fucking hell. Well,
Alex Jones and Kanye West debating and talking to each other who's more racist than the other one is like a heroin addict and a meth junkie at Hauptbahnhof discussing who's a junkie. It's like it's the two worst people for this in the world to be having a discussion. But the old stuff used to like back in the day. I like not just musically. Back in the day, Kanye was like entertaining. Like I remember the Dave Chappelle has a good story about when he first met Kanye West. He was at the taping for the Dave Chappelle show. Kanye West was at the taping when he was just blowing up. And Dave Chappelle says, this is the moment I knew that Kanye was going to be a star. We were watching like unreleased skits for the Chappelle show, and he gets a phone call, and he's like, and he says to the guys, I'm at the Chappelle show, and I'm watching skits that nobody's seen before. Why? Because I'm dope and I do dope shit. And he hung up. And that was the moment he knew that Kanye West is going to be a star. And like, that was funny, but now it's just not very funny anymore.
No. And what is he actually, so his main things, where does he made all his money? Clothes?
Yeah, like he was a musician, but mostly clothes and like branding.
Yeah, but the music thing is huge as well. Like just tons of shit, everything. He has his own streaming service. There's plenty of stuff where he's making money. He released an album. Listen to this. This was already the first move where I was like, okay, fuck this guy. He released an album, but this album is only available on a piece of hardware, which is like a Bluetooth speaker that he released. And you have to buy this speaker, and the album comes pre-installed on it, and you can upload other things to the speaker. But the only way to receive the album was obviously torrents, but the only legal way to get this album was buying an $125 speaker from Kanye West, and then you could have his new album.
So is this a money-grabbing piece of shit?
Yes.
Didn't Aerosmith put all like their album on every iPod at one point?
No, that was U2.
U2, yeah.
Yeah,
that
U2.
Fucking Bono, he's a fucking, oh God, U2, what a bunch of twats.
I agree with Daniel on this one. I went to my brother got tickets for U2 in the Olympiastadion. Like I was like 15, 16 years old, and he was supposed to go with his girlfriend or girlfriend at the time. And she couldn't go, so I had to go, and it was the worst evening of my life. There was people crying to their sappy, shitty, boring songs. I was so bored out of my mind. But the other band that were on before them, the Zootons, they're quite good.
They're amazing, the Zootons. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
They've got some. They did the original Valerie that.
Valerie, yeah. And I heard it there first, and I really like the song.
I've got the first Zootons album is amazing.
I agree, and that's what they were.
That's a quality fucking album. That's really, really good. Whereas U2, and he's such a hypocrite. U2, Bono, with his hanging around with George Bush and all these other motherfuckers.
Oh, that was.
And he doesn't like.
One big moment for Kanye was
what
he said. George Bush doesn't care about black people, and like they used to be like really big. That he was like a progressive voice against the president, and then like fucking Trump came around. He's like. Great guy.
With U2, my mum's friend is married to the guitarist of U2, and my mother.
Hold on a minute, you just dropped a bomb in the conversation right there. Your mum's friend is married to the guitarist of one of the biggest bands in the world.
Yeah, The Edge, and my mum will not fail to not mention it ever. She's just like, but keep it to yourself. She's telling like to the lady in the supermarket. Like she just tells everybody the story of how like she because she met him once, and it's just like it's a big secret, but she tells everybody.
That is pretty massive though. So have you met all U2? Have you met them all?
No, I don't. My mum's friend is married. I'm not meeting them, am I?
That is like get free tickets for the show.
I could probably ask, but wouldn't want to go.
No, I wouldn't.
But I got you
just looked
tickets
up
to you
YouTube.
two for free. Do I have to? Like, no.
No, I get them and I sell
I
them.
just looked them up. I don't know any of their songs. I've never heard any of these.
Oh, you must do. Some of them are like
Well-
really like the streets have no name and all that kind of thing.
Daniel, remember your age. Remember that Cassian was born in 2000.
I am aware of the Beatles in 1960s, and I wasn't around when they were
The
there.
Beatles.
That's fair point. Fair point. Are there like what's a really big band? Do you think that kids, maybe not Cassian because Cassian's well informed, but 2000 babies wouldn't know anymore, which would be surprising. Anybody got a name?
Oasis.
Oasis is actually no, because they're too much. They trend too often. They're still in like series and stuff, and then they come up once in a while. It's not a bad one though. That direction's not bad. Britney Spears is still too famous, right?
Yeah, Spears.
I feel like actually almost every song from before is like really famous now because there are now so many remixes and stuff. Like
that's
this
true.
Linkin Park, I've tried so hard. It's like now slowed down and has like new beat to it.
Yeah,
And like there is nothing new, not much new. A lot of songs like on TikTok are also remixes. And
Yeah, but the songs on TikTok, is that just some asshole getting the original song and like remixing it and putting it on TikTok?
That is everything on TikTok. Every video, every. But it doesn't matter. It's like the people then try to have it taken down and shit. Like because like comedians do it a lot as well. People rip people's comedian stuff and put it on TikTok. But basically, there's no point doing it. And if you put a watermark in, that's your only hope that you still will get any credibility because people will steal your shit. That's the idea. But Christina Aguilera is my answer. Christina Aguilera, kids these days won't know anymore who was she.
Dirty.
Yeah. That was that music video did something for 13-year-old Oliver. Let me tell you.
Do you guys know? Do the kids know who Christina Aguilera is? Cassian.
I do.
Okay. Olga.
I've heard the name, but I never heard any of the songs.
That is crazy to me. Like not like I get it. She's not that important, but she was so big. Like when we like Daniel and me
kind of Britney versus Christina. They were kind of about the same time and kind of similar.
I love
think
Christina Aguilera.
She was like in like teen magazines when I was young still. Like that was like it was more at that point, you know, when like music artists become more like drama artists that are just in like tabloids all the time.
Yeah.
That's where I know her from mostly.
Yeah, and then she quit now. She doesn't do anymore, does she? I believe.
That's probably why she's not around.
Oh, smart ass. Look, he's looking it up now, Aguilera. He's going to look something up now and then make out he already knew it. Even though I can see him typing.
Bands that people wouldn't know anymore. Maybe like Tears for Fears. But
I went to watch those guys live about 4 or 5 years ago in Tollwood. Tollwood, for anyone, is a big festival in Munich in the summer and the winter. And I saw Tears for Fears, and they were fucking amazing. They were amazing.
This is like Men at Work is like.
They always have one song though, didn't they? You come from a man down under.
Yeah, but I think they have 3 really good ones. They were a bit more popular in Germany, actually. I think.
Really? Yeah, because in the UK they only had one big song, and it was that. Do you come from a land down under? I
like it too. Like, Who Can It Be Now or It's a Mistake. Those are pretty good songs.
No, I don't know those. Maybe that's Joan only. I like the way the good stuff there, Oliver, on an audio only medium, making visual gags.
The gags are for you, not the listeners.
You can't really. It's not a good picture though. You can't really see it because you can only see sweaty men. You can hardly see Aguilera.
You can see her panties. What are you complaining about?
I'm the Aguilera. That's the point.
Sorry, you can see his panties.
I didn't realize you had such attractive breasts, Oliver.
That's a pretty good band.
Oh God, yeah, Foreigner, class. Yeah. No, come on.
Even full songs aren't like known anymore because now TikTok has made it so like most artists make their songs to have like 5 popular viral seconds that can be used in a video, or like old songs like "You Spin Me Round" from I think was that Foreigner?
No. It's Dead or Alive from 1985.
Dead or Alive. For example, like they know the sound, but they wouldn't know the band or anything because somebody else uploaded the sound to TikTok. So like, it is really weird how one, it's shaping new music to be different, to be like seeking to be viral, whereas it used to be like seeking to like get radio play or whatever. And like old music is getting like a little bit like cut up and butchered, and it's just for the like sound bits now.
Yeah, I noticed that there's a new rapper I follow, Central C, is a London-based rapper, and he's like definitely out of my like age group because he's like, I think he's like 21 or something.
Doja song.
Yeah.
But homophobic, my bitch is gay.
Yeah. How could I be homophobic? My bitch is gay. Yeah, but that song is 1 minute 21 or something like that, and a load of his songs are really short. And it took me a while to realize everything's short because everything is just basically a TikTok song.
This whole thing is like, I'm going to make TikTok songs. I have no artistic integrity whatsoever.
The song's still good. It's just produced in a different way. It's like I think on Spotify he has like 100 million listens or something. On TikTok that song's been used 1.2 billion times, which is like,
billion.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how often that song has been used in other people's TikToks.
And all he does is say, "I'm not homophobic because my bitch is gay."
No, that's the intro to the song.
Okay.
But the song is a 1 minute 20 rap song. But it's
but they use that intro, and that's why it's so popular.
Yes.
There's a artist I like called Baby No Money. If you guys remember that song, like da 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 da. And he talks about it a lot too, like making songs specifically with keywords to just capture like Gen Z now, and it like get put into songs. And it's literally about making like, if you know what it like, if you think about like a meme format, it's literally making a song that can be used in a meme at this point, as like that's so broadly applicable that you can like film your friends and like, oh, this is us, or film like, I don't know, do something funny and how can my bitch whatever.
But that sounds like the opposite of art to me. That sounds like the opposite. I'm just going to sit around and make an advert that can be used as many times as possible. It's the opposite of, where's the art form? Where's I have a unique voice that I need to express? Or I'm just going to make something that every fucking asshole in the world can just copy a little bit of and spread around like a fucking germ.
I think this concept will make Daniel so beaver he's in danger of having a stroke, and we should move on.
No, I get it. No, the thing is, what you misunderstand. I understand the concept perfectly. What I'm saying is, there's a lack of artistic integrity. It's like saying I'm going to be a novelist now, but my books are only going to be 12 words long.
There's pamphlets, yeah.
Not even a pamphlet.
That's basically
instead of writing a novel, I'm only going to write sentences, and each sentence is its own thing. And it can spread around the world, and you can use 3 or 4 words of my sentence. There's no depth, structure, artistry.
Isn't it kind of the same of saying, I want to do acting and then being a comedian?
No, actually, because I can give you a counter argument there. Thank you.
Fucking with you. I know. I agree.
But at least, like, no, go on, Olga, go on. My cold's got to me. I'm defeated, but their stupidity is won. Go on.
No, I'm just saying that's like all kind of modern art is about. Like this, like just black square picture. Also, like, what do you call it, an art?
Call it crap.
You say, oh, it's not an art anymore. Yeah, but that's like the direction kind of that our goals.
No, all right then. Okay, all right, but at least that particular whatever that black box line P that I might not be able to appreciate personally, but it is an artistic expression. Someone's expressing their ideas through a form that takes longer than 12 seconds.
Okay, promise me nobody tells Daniel about NFTs or he's going to lose it.
No, I know all about those things as well. That's just a fucking Ponzi scheme.
I know, but that's the worst.
I know, yes, yeah. It is. It's a rip-off.
Of it.
Right, yeah, dumbasses. All little dumbasses. Oh, I'm going to get an NFT. I'm going to make a fucking TikTok out of this piece of shit 12-second bit of music that I shat out on my phone when I was on the toilet.
As soon as I have any following at all, I'm releasing an NFT. It only makes sense.
To be a devil's advocate, like in the digital art community, there is people who say that
the digital art community.
Yeah, like people who do 3D art, like Blender and stuff. Like there is a consensus that NFTs sort of brought like a like it refreshed the scene a little bit, because before everybody was creating, like they were doing digital art to be like part of a studio or to work at like Google or like a games development like place. And NFTs sort of did give like artists a way to sell directly to people.
Yeah.
And that made it more creative. So like you lost that like corporate design kind of digital art. Like it got like a little bit of like a refreshing. So there is like people who vouch for it.
But that part, if I'm creating some digital art work that is solely produced on a computer, and it's, let's say, a graphic of something, for that I kind of get it. But if I'm literally the owner of the NFT of a random meme, like, I don't know, the dog that's standing in front of the house is burning, that meme sells for like a few $1 million. That's not doing anything for art. Yeah. But if I create something original and I say I'm going to have one NFT for it, and if anyone wants to own it, they can have it, that I don't have a problem with.
No, that does make sense. I mean, I'm not saying it's like you said, the digital art is any less valid a form of art. I'm not saying that, but there is something fundamental human, I think, about wanting to actually have in your hands what you own. And surely it's so easy to copy some kind of non-fungible token.
That's why I'm saying, like, you should use it like Patreon. So like the artist makes the piece of art for all of his fans, and then if one fan says, hey, I want to put my name under that and like sponsor you to do that, and everybody can see that I did that, like maybe like a Twitch donation or whatever, where your name pops up. Like it is a way to have community and support the artist, give him money directly. If that's how you use it, that's fine. If it's like celebrities being like, you got to buy this monkey because it's going to appreciate in value, then that's fucking
I know, that was bullshit. Yeah, true. There was a lot of that going around, like footballers selling monkeys.
Like 4chan sort of, there was like a breadcrumb trail you could follow, and those monkeys were like, had a lot of Nazi imagery in them.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Nazi monkeys.
Oh, by the way, Patreon for the listeners, the Patreons of the Beavercast, this week's episode is going to be Cassian giving Daniel Beaver an enema, so you won't want to miss that. Subscribe, $5 will get you that.
And then in return, I get to stick something long and hard down Cassian's throat.
That's the $10.
He's gonna stick Oliver down my throat, like Oliver.
All of Oliver.
Vor podcast.
We'll have Oliver.
My Patreon money. I want my Patreon money before we do any of that.
I want my Patreon. I ain't got no Patreon money because I don't want to exploit the workers, because art should be free for everybody.
Well, you can make it free, and then people who want to donate can donate. I feel like Patreon.
They're good idea. They're good. What Twitch?
Like, if it's voluntary, I agree with you though. Like I don't like putting like a block where you have to buy it. Like if it's extra content or like other stuff, I think that's fine.
No extra. Oh, totally. Yeah. No. Because people got to pay the rent and live.
No. Even if you've got a pod, I agree. Bonus content always fine, but even if you put like a $2 Patreon like paywall for your podcast, I think that's fine. Especially if it's a resource podcast, like if you talk about if it's educational and anything, and it's like they're gaining something from it as well. I really think it's okay to put, like, we used to pay for shit. It should be okay to still pay for shit.
Yeah, like, but people everybody nowadays has like a scammy online course too, and those have become like, they're all like, I've bought some and they're all dog shit and they're all expensive.
Did you buy? What course did you buy?
You can tell like what's his face? The guy who did Dan, we were talking about the director who did Hot Fuzz. What's his name?
Oh, Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. He's doing like a BBC thing.
I saw that. Yeah, Maestro. Is it any good?
It always feels like they just ran out of money and they're like, I gotta get some cash in.
I blowed all my money on hookers and drugs. What am I going to do now? Oh, I'll do some course. Did you do his course?
I thought about buying it, and now they keep spamming me because it was like $60, but like I got like Christmas presents.
You had Daniel. There was a guy at your show once at Comedy Underground on Thursdays in Beverly Hills, who he was American, but he was traveling. He was in Munich. He was going to Vietnam next, and he doesn't have an actual base. He just travels and stays in cities for multiple months at a time. And he does stand up, paints murals. But the actual thing that pays for all his traveling, and he actually earns a good amount of money on it, is he makes art training videos, how to make murals yourself digitally and physically and blah, blah, blah. And he makes a slaying of it.
I'm in the wrong.
I don't like that. Dan, you kind of do a bit about this, how everybody wants to be a little capitalist nowadays. And it's that. It's like you have to make everybody think they have to be an entrepreneur, have to be like that hustle mindset. And then it's like, buy my course so you can hustle. And then I don't like
you
that.
see that all the time. I get that. I know, and you get it all the time. It's like, well, oh yeah, you're doing social media the wrong way. Buy my course and you won't have to anymore. Well, then if you're so fucking good, why are you flogging your piece of shit course on fucking Instagram?
Exactly.
It's just nonsense. And also, let's all be billionaires. Let's all be capitalists. Let's all be billionaires. Well, then who's going to do the real work? As in, like, who's going to clean you up in a fucking... That's not real work. Who's going to clean the streets? Real important work that's essential for society.
I had when I was still working as managing director, I had a coach that worked with me. And he advised me on like how to build the company and all these different things. And I was sat there in every single meeting. And at some point, I just thought, like, if you're so fucking good at this, why do you need this money off me? If you're such a fucking genius,
right? Yeah.
But it's some people are better at giving advice at doing something than actually doing it themselves. Like no, it's true. I can give you legit advice on how to schedule your life. It does not mean I schedule my life well.
Yeah, but I mean, so could I, because there's all these things flying around, but it's not like difficult secret knowledge. It's everywhere, floating around in the ether. Yeah. With the basic knowledge of psychology. Okay, an example.
Actually, have a counter example. A counter example where, like, we once had like this teacher in university who was like telling us how to build your own successful startup. And we were like, oh, why should we go to this course? Like, if he knew how to actually build a successful startup, he would do it. He actually had a few failing startups, but he probably knew how to like start it and like try it out. And then like 2 years later, after like almost no one went to his course, he founded this like Lensa app, if you know it. It's the one that like creates images on Instagram, and it's through artificial intelligence, where you like put many photos inside. It's like it's like probably now in like Instagram you can see like people upload like kind of art of their face, where they like
a cartoon version.
10 photos of themselves, and it like it like creates cartoons version of you, or like some kind of paintings, and it's super popular now on Instagram. Almost all my friends like posted like pictures of themselves like that are like paintings, and like this person created this app that's like super popular now. So he actually did it after teaching how to do startups at the time where he did not have a successful startup yet.
Does he still teach? Does he still teaching startups?
Fuck no.
I believe not anymore. No.
I'm sure. I feel like that maybe made my point. I'm not sure if it did or not.
That's like, but like one of the principles of art is just keep doing it, like keep failing until you succeed.
Yeah.
Oliver's doing another visual bit. There should really be a visual component to this. Subscribe to the Patreon for the visual component. Yeah, subscribe to the Patreon,
and then you can watch all this crap instead of not just listening to this crap. What the hell? All right, I need someone to explain this to me properly, right? What is the difference between a startup and a business?
Me?
Anyone?
Branding.
What is it? Someone tell me. Yeah, go on.
The difference being startup is usually so the idea of a startup is starting with very low own capital, waiting for angel investors or as a group of angel investors to invest in your company and sell it off as soon as possible for a big price. As opposed to if I just start a normal business, I will try and grow the business organically or with a loan from a bank or with one or two investors. But my idea is not getting rid of the company and selling out and making bank.
Okay,
thank you.
All right, no, that's...
And startup is just Yeah, but it's muggy. It doesn't have like a perfect definition. It's generally young people do startups, old people do businesses.
I thought it was it's a startup if it's mostly Indian people working there.
It's a startup.
Every
It's a
Indian person
startup.
I've ever met in Munich works at a startup.
Yeah.
Like,
And startup also means you're exploited to fuck. Don't be, if you're looking for a job, don't get a job at a fucking startup. Because the cunts who do make a lot of bank, they're laughing, aren't they? They sell it off. They make a fortune.
Yeah.
Poor old ass.
Unless you're getting stock options. Yeah. But it's like, oh, we have a table football, but you have to work 74 hours. But that's a good trade-off, isn't it? Like that's generally the thing.
Ridiculous.
it's like a Google too.
It does work. It does work.
Startup does because of atmosphere, because there are like not that many people working passionately on something, and they might work 70 hours, but it's the atmosphere and like hope that they have within their hearts.
Well, then they're fucking idiots, aren't they? There's no hope.
That age has kind of gone and died a little bit. Like people, like the whole like, oh, I want to work for a startup, and startups exactly like that. Like I think that's dying a little bit because there are so many startups, and the concept of like, oh, a young and hip startup is kind of falling apart now. Like people aren't as stupid as they used to be.
I think it's people doing like want to do social media, like their own business now, and be their own boss and like sell T-shirts or whatever. That sort of took over in comparison to getting like being part of a startup and making $1 million.
But also like the startup thing, surely it depends also what it is. I mean, you know, there seems that a lot of the startups just seems just crap. You know, like where's the kind of, how can I put it? I'll cut this bit.
It's like not revolutionary anymore. There's so many startups now that the idea.
No, something interesting though. I mean, like what do you got? I'm going to do a startup now that involves tracking some nonsense crap on the internet that might make me a few more dollars a month, or to do something beautiful, artistic, creative.
Well, I think it's because what Oliver said about like angel investors, it's now about getting people to buy it instead of making something that is so good that it gets bought, you know?
So it's just, so you're just generating crap.
In
the pure hope that someone puts a lot of money in before they realize it's crap. So, so hold on a minute. So contributing to society, let's build something. Let's make something that's going to make the world a better place. And I'm passionate about making the world a better place. No, let's just make any old shit and sell it as soon as we can before they realize it's shit.
I had a company as a client who used to buy accessories for, do you guys remember Farmville on Facebook where you could build your farm? They used to buy like there's a pink barn that's like limited edition. They would via traders in the different countries buy pink barns in, let's say, India and sell them in the German market for a discount. So let's say the pink barn costs $5. They'll buy in India for $2 and sell it on the German market for $3. And this was a company that it had multi-million-dollar investments. There was 30 people working at this company selling fucking shit on Farmville. Farmville at this point, you have to add, Farmville was making more money than Facebook at this point in time. This was like quite early.
The human race deserves to die out based on that information.
I actually agree on that one. I used to do their finances.
It's over.
Yeah,
it's over. Like, just quit.
How does anyone think this is going to be like a good model? I don't know.
A good model, but like, what about doing something decent for society instead of that?
There's people that like mass invested in like Chinese WoW gold farms. Like I think George Soros was one of these people.
What's a WoW
like
gold
$1 million.
farm?
It's Chinese people play World of Warcraft and they farm the in-game currency gold and then they sell it like with PayPal, like for real money. So and there's just like these huge farms of people just farming gold and like selling it online.
So they just sit in a room playing World of Warcraft.
Investors bought into this.
They just sat in a room playing World of Warcraft.
Yep. Or like exploiting it to make money or whatever, like finding the quickest ways to make like generate in-game money. And because there's so many people who want to like skip that time frame you got to play and they have money because I guess they're employed or whatever in the West. They just buy all that shit. They just buy their accounts or whatever. And those are like huge investments. And that was one of the big things that like smart investors in America caught on to like right in the early 2000s. And those got like huge loads of money put into them as well, which is just so insane to think about, because like there's millions of like cancer research startups that just died in the garage they were started in, and then like the WoW Gold startup is like $1 billion fucking
That's
industry.
crazy. Like, so you got some poor Chinese guys working 23 hours a day mining gold in.
Have you seen the Chinese like Twitch streamer farms where there's like 40 women in a room sitting on the floor like streaming themselves to random men online?
Like sexually, or they're sat there?
Well, it's not sexually. It's like that, like, it's like when you pay a prostitute to tell her about your feelings, you know, like that, like you get like that connection or whatever.
Oh, Daniel knows all about that.
Chat.
For the benefit of our listeners at home, I've just stuck my finger up at Oliver Thomas.